I just saw this video. It's a good one. Dying to react to it, so let's go.
How dare he have the audacity to block an aisle in an airplane just so that he can pray? If he really wants to pray, why can't he just wait till he gets off the plane? In fact, why couldn't he just find a mosque 3,000 feet in the sky? Is that how you felt when you saw this video? Because that's exactly what they want to do. They want you to think that this man is being completely inconsiderate of other people's spaces and feelings on a plane, and he just decided to lay out his mat and pray and sod everybody else. But I'm going to show you something now that's going to make this make a lot of sense. Those of you that got excited looking at this video, thinking, yeah, I'm going to use this to show how these guys want to take over our planes, you're going to feel like Muppets. But the rest of you normal people who are just slightly curious as to what's going on, I'm going to explain it now. This is actually Saudi Arabian Airlines. They're taking out 9 seats from the space over here just so that they can create a space for people to pray. This is what happens when people chase outrage. They film somebody, they clip it out of context, and then they act all shocked. Oh my God, look what this guy's doing, even though it's something the airline allows.
Now, most people don't, but some people have been accusing me of doing that, clipping stuff out of context and wanting to cause a scene. And I don't, or, get outrage or whatever. And I don't want to do that at all. But I do have a take on this. And this guy here seems like a nice guy, seems to be saying that is the whole story. So, haha, we burned you in the end because, people were making fun of it, saying, what's this guy taking up space in the airplane? But the truth is, a Saudi airline took out 9 airplane seats and made this prayer room so you can't say anything. Well, okay. And first of all, I'm not Saudi. That's not my country. I'm Canadian, but I do have some thoughts on it. I wouldn't want that on an airplane. They might think, well, you don't have to pray, but see, think of the economics of it for one. You take out 9 seats, and then everybody has to pay more for their seat just to have this thing. Okay. But then you think, well, that's Saudi Arabia. That's not your country. Okay. But look at this. And I pointed this out in another video. This is Canada. They made a prayer room mandatory in Canada's Wonderland. And of course, that costs money, and that's not typically Canadian. But let's look
Had
at
to look
this.
for a secluded place to pray,
This is
and
in
we found
Canada.
this. We had to now look for the direction of prayer, of course. But then we realized this place had music playing.
This would have been a really nice place to pray if there was no music.
So our search continued until we found this place. They actually moved the prayer room to here now. This was perfect. They even had a separate entrance for men and women. Inside they had
Got his foot washing sink there. That's what that bottom
multiple
of it.
prayer mats and even a wudu station. Washing feet got a lot easier. The women's area is the same. Gotta make sure the shoes are off. It was very clean and had multiple prayer mats.
Okay, so this is like our biggest amusement park in the country. It's almost like symbolic of Canada, at least in Ontario. Everybody knows it. Everybody's been there. Okay, so then going back to this and connecting the dots and sort of looking in the future, what would you say to if people said, okay, well, it wasn't in the aisle, but what if there was pressure on Canadian Airlines to do something like this? I don't think they do it within the next year or two, but what if this goes further and further where we're asked like, hey, you guys got to pay money and put stuff like this all over the place because we want to pray all the time. I'm just making an economic point out of this. What are we supposed to say? Are we allowed to say we don't want that? What are we allowed to say? So again, I agree with some of your videos. Like people, that was clipped out of context. You're right about that, and that's not the country, and this is better, I suppose. But what about just friend to friend here? What about my questions? Are we allowed to like push back against having it all over the place, or is that too insensitive? I don't know. So those are my questions there. I kind of know how I feel, I guess, but curious what everybody else thinks.